Your non-negotiables are guided by your values. Hey there, Coach Nrgy here, the Single Parents Life Coach, where I serve single fathers and single mothers in this thing we called life. Today, I am coming to you to talk about your personal non-negotiables. These are the things that, or the list of items that guide you day in and day out throughout your life. Now, this is not to be confused with your relationship non-negotiables. That will come in a separate video, and it has its own set of explanation and things to consider. So we'll talk about that one separately, but today we're just talking about the personal non-negotiables, the ones that are more geared towards you as the individual, what you as a single being, what makes, what leads you and guides you and your decisions and the choices that you make. So giving you a few examples. Me, for an example, one of my personal non-negotiables is no matter what, not doubting God. No matter what the situation is, no matter how tough a situation may have gotten, I will just not doubt God. I will not lose my faith. I will not allow my faith to be lowered, or I will not question my faith, or I will not question God and who He is. And so, yeah, one of my non-negotiables is just not doubting God and not losing faith in Him. Another example of one of my non-negotiables would be budgeting. So I will always stick within my budget. So that's one of my non-negotiables. So if I am out shopping somewhere or online shopping with the season that we're in right now, no matter what it is, I will stick within my budget. So that basically means everything or every item that I'm looking to either buy or whatever, I am putting a price point on it and seeing if it fits within my budget for that month or for that year. And I'm sticking to it. Of course, the budget can adjust, based off of whatever my situations or circumstances are, whatever my expenses are. But regardless, what if I create a budget, I'm sticking to that budget. Another example of a non-negotiable would be tithing. I didn't used to tithe regularly. Years ago, I finally decided to just kind of, do it the right way according to my own beliefs. And based off of my own beliefs, I started doing it regularly. And I started tithing, based off of what I believe the word says. And so that's another example of one of my non-negotiables. Now I'll give you another example that could be somebody's non-negotiable. It's not mine. Basically because I'm not committed to it 100% right now. And I'll talk about that in just a second, as far as the being committed portion. But another example of a non-negotiable is exercising daily or, exercising weekly. So there are so many examples of non-negotiables that everyone can choose from, different categories that everyone will be able to have. And everyone's non-negotiables, will be different from the next person. And so the importance of having a non-negotiable, or it's important to have your non-negotiables thought of and decided upon, because it guides the person, you, the individual. It guides you in your day-to-day walk, and it basically allows you to, or it affects the types of decisions and the choices that you make. So whenever you find yourself in a tough situation, if the going gets tough, or if, you're in a pressure filled type of situation, then whatever your non-negotiables are will help you make whatever that decision is, whatever that decision will be ultimately. It also helps you to just learn yourself as an individual, learn yourself as a single being, as a single individual. And so making sure that you have your non-negotiables created will help you learn yourself. And not only learning yourself, but then that ties into trusting yourself. There are a lot of us who have, after we've gone through so many things in life that may have hurt us, we lose trust in ourselves, or we lose trust in our instincts. And we have to get back to a point of where we can trust ourselves again, to where that instinct, when it tries to, alert us to a situation, alert us to something that's going on, waving those flags, then, we need to get to a point to where we are able to read those flags, or trust the instinct that's in us for that very reason, to kind of to help us protect ourselves, to an extent. And like I mentioned earlier, the commitment portion, your non-negotiables are something that you are 100% committed to no matter what. And so back to me, when using one of my examples, no matter what I've ever dealt with in life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, whatever, I never, no matter what, doubted God and doubted his power, doubted his love for me. My faith did not ever get affected. It was that constant in my life. It was that variable, or that factor that just never changed. And so whenever you're coming up with your list of non-negotiables, or if you already have your list of non-negotiables, go back through it and think about it. Each one, ask, okay, like, am I 100% committed to this particular non-negotiable? Another thing that's good for having a list of non-negotiables, or coming up with your non-negotiables, is that it helps to create consistency, security, and stability in your life. We as human beings, we thrive off of consistency. We thrive off of, feeling secured, and we thrive off of, feeling stable in whatever that is. That, our emotions are stable, if our finances are stable, so in anything else, we thrive off of security, stability, and consistency. And having your non-negotiables, that personal list of non-negotiables, will help you maintain all three of those categories. And another thing is, again, it just helps you stay in control of your life. So having those non-negotiables keeps you in the driver's seat, basically. What it prevents from happening is, how some people may say, oh, life has happened to me. Or you can see, or you may have read a meme or read a quote that says, something, 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 life happens to you. Well, having a set of non-negotiables will help life not just happening. It keeps you in control. It helps you be be a decision maker in your life, and things happening to you, or how things may happen to you in life. So that's another benefit, major benefit, of having your non-negotiables. So at this point in this video, I want to ask you, do you have your non-negotiables created yet? Have you created that? Typically, non-negotiables are going to be between 3 to 5 items, just on average, because if you can pretty much have a well-rounded list, within 3 to 5 different items. Some people may just have one simple non-negotiable. Some people may have 5 or 7 different items, depending on how detailed and how you want to break your list down. So asking you again, do you have your non-negotiables created? If so, do you mind sharing? Whether you share the actual listed items or not, put it down below in the comments section, and let us know if you've created your list of non-negotiables. And if you're really open to sharing, feel free to share one or a few, or your entire list of non-negotiables, just to kind of help other people get an idea of how to think about that list of non-negotiables, to give other people ideas and examples of what non-negotiables are, and to give other people things to consider. And so if you have not created your list of non-negotiables, don't worry, I do have 3 questions or things for you to consider and to think about. So the first thing to think about to help you create or come up with your list or outline of your non-negotiables is, ask yourself, what do most people love about you? What do most people love about you? Another way to ask that question would be maybe asking like your partner or a close friend, like how would they describe you in 3 words? That could be another way to answer or ask that question. Another thing to ask is, what do you love most about yourself? Pretty good question, right? Some people don't know the answer to that. So think about it. It's a great question to be able to answer. So, what do you most love about yourself or about your life? And lastly, what qualities do you admire most about yourself? Awesome questions, right? They're all inner focused to, again, help you figure out who you are as an individual. And so, if you want to go into deeper detail with that, if you want more help with coming up with your list or your outline for who you are and your day to day outline of your value system, because another thing, your non negotiables are going to be based off of those things that you value. And so, whatever you value most will end up being the items that you end up writing on your list. So, that's going to also kind of tell a lot about you as well to yourself. If you want help with getting your list of non negotiables created, reach out to me, let me know. You can go to my website and jump on my calendar and we can talk about it. We can go over it in a quick 30-minute consultation. And otherwise, you already know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe for more content like this, more information like this. Hit that share button and share it out to your channels, to your followers, to your friends and family, so they also can take advantage of this valuable information that is being shared today. Do not forget to hit the thumbs up button. Again, subscribe, hit that bell so you can be notified every single time that I upload a new episode. If you are listening to this on the audio version on your favorite podcast, make sure you go ahead and download so you can also be notified of whenever I do upload or publish a new podcast. But I thank you so much. Oh, and real quick, since I'm talking about the podcast, you can search for me by typing in I Give Life to Life in your preferred platform. And then also, if you want to go to my website, it's coachnrgy.com. I forgot to mention that as well, coachnrgy.com, and Nrgy is spelled Nrgy. You can connect with me there. You can find me on my website. You can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on podcasts. So any of those locations, you can definitely connect with me. And let's help you figure out what your non-negotiables are, and let's see what are those things that you value and what are going to be the things that kind of drive and guide you and direct you through your life. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this quick video about your personal non-negotiables. You already know what to do. Keep smiling. Bye-bye.